reporting to you live, Taz. Okay, so I didn't do a get ready with me. Oh my goodness. How rude of me. Hey cuties, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hey, if you're not, welcome back, Cookie. As you can tell, I already went out. I just realized that today's color was purple. This purple is so delicious. This purple and pink. If I'm like toe up, you can't trust me with a clutch because for some reason I had it like this, right? And I kept forgetting that it was under my arm last time I wore it, and it just kept falling. I pulled the the little handle out. Bam, it did not fall today. I started off with the trench coat covered. You know what I'm saying? Very seductive, very cute. I'm not going to go to bed until I fix this bed. Yeah, period. I got distracted again. So boom, I started up with it like clothes because it rained. I changed my outfit 3 times, so I apologize for the mess. But then the weather came, and then the weather it wouldn't stop raining, and I was like, I guess I'll play it safe and dress appropriate for the weather, sort of, kinda. So I'm gonna show you that outfit. Ta-da! 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 Yeah. So I'm not gonna turn around because I'm not trying to get in trouble with YouTube. And yeah, very much, yeah. I walked into the function like this. And then as time went on, I started getting hot. I don't know if it was the liquor or what it was. And then I started stripping. And then I went down to this. Brown boots to match the buttons. You know, dark brown boots to match the buttons. And yeah, nothing too crazy. I'll show you the side profile. Side profile. Deal or no deal type shit. Ta-da! Muy delicioso. Yes, the look today was so delicious. We're going to talk about what happened today just because, like, it wasn't much to send till next. I don't know when I'm going to Bitch. Originally, I was planning on going out today, and then when today came, I really wasn't in the mood because there's a whole bunch of shit. After all of that hoopling and hollering, I finally decided, you know what, I'm gonna go out despite how I'm feeling. I don't give a damn. And then, like I told y'all, I changed 3 times. I was supposed to change the bed sheets, did not. However, I did purchase the bed sheets. So bed sheets already purchased, just gotta do this. So now I'm over here, boom. That was the whole recap. So I started getting ready around like 11:30, 11:30 ish. Got down there around like 1. Oopsies. So by the time I got down there, mind you, I got down there sober, very much sober. And unfortunately, by the time the car hit, it was rolling up to time to leave. Oopsies again. Cause mind you, I actually wanted to get there at 10:30 today. Surprise, surprise. For real. I was gonna get there at 10:30. And we was gonna really like this shit was so premeditated. It was so premeditated. I was like, I'm gonna go out today. This is gonna be so, you know what I'm saying? And things didn't turn out the way. I mean, at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, so I'm not gonna complain. Anyways, all the hooping and hollering. So boom, get there. Nothing too crazy. Tonight was a very nice night. There was the ladies was out. The DJ. I just feel as if like, why I gotta threaten to take your job before you take your job serious? Yeah, I know I be talking about shit. No, for real, cause like, I guess the music was okay today or whatever. Like, I guess I don't need to take your job or whatever. And I'm just feeling like they ready for summer with me. So that I didn't, okay. I just shimmied. I didn't do too much shimmying, but I just did like slight shimmying because it was already late and I wasn't like, I don't know, I just wasn't in the mood to just be doing all that. And there was a few girls that were near me. So at any point in time, like I could have danced with them and I could have like got this shit turned up with them. But I really wasn't in the mood. And while I was there, instead of me like paying attention and just like unwinding, cause I went there to unwind, y'all, my ass started, prior to the liquor hitting, my ass started, what's it called? I started doing work. So I was doing work while I was there and over here trying to do something for a client. And it just, I couldn't even pay attention. I gotta find what this person need, and I have a deadline to meet. So I'm actually not far from like my deadline for the project in itself is far out. However, I just want to get it done and over with because the quicker I get it done and over with, the more time I have to like venture out and do other stuff. type stuff. So I be trying to get everybody out the way quick with the swiftness. With the swift, yeah, I said it right the first time, girl. Don't question yourself. So he asked me for my name. I told him my name because you know the therapist said. Not like, oh, I'm touching on your waist. No, he like top of upper, not really like on the derriere, but it was like the top of the derriere. So it's like your waist, and then you know how it's like waist, and then it goes to the exactly. It was like hand not on the waist, down a little ways, but not fully on it. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And I just had to slide his hand up because don't play with me. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. Don't ever think you know what I'm saying? It's not that over here. Prior to him, there was some dude talking about, do you want to dance? Buddy, no. Now, when I say I was not in the mood today, I was not in the mood for no shit. I shut shit down so fucking quick. Stop playing with me. On the other days, I'd be hee hee ha ha and just be willing to do it for the plot. I'm not doing shit for the plot today. Get out my face. TT's not here to play. Because, like, I went to throw my drink away. He started following me. Why the fuck are you following me? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't fucking follow me. You're not my man. What's wrong with you? Back off for me. Yeah, I was not feeling it. I was not feeling it today. I didn't realize they had a mirror on the wall. Y'all know I'm a little conceited. That's how I knew the liquor started hitting because I kept looking at myself. You ain't never supposed to put a mirror nowhere. Never. Because I can't stop looking at myself. It was so tempting. So tempting. And that was that night. Yeah, period. Anywho, did I tell you? Yeah, I did tell y'all the DJ was good. He was good. Or whatever. You know, you gotta add the or whatever because you start complimenting people too much. Then they get to, you know what I'm saying? Always have to add the or whatever. I was going to do a get ready with me tomorrow because I am going somewhere tomorrow and I was going to do a get ready with me and then recap today on that get ready with me. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to like talk this through. This is very much giving random rant, get ready with me edition. When's the next, see, when I was in college, they used to call it a darty, day party. Darty, yeah. Day party in one word, darty. DARTY, darty. Yeah. Anyway, so boom. I want a limbo contest. I really want a limbo contest. Y'all bitches flexible? Okay, let's put it to work. I want a limbo contest. I need that in my life this summer. I do. But then again, it's like, how am I gonna know? You get what I'm saying? Like, how am I gonna know there's gonna be a limbo contest? I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to like pop up to. I don't want to just pop up to a whole bunch of events and hope they doing a limbo contest. I don't want to do all of that. Then to top it off, speaking of events, why in the world? I actually wanted to go out last weekend, but last weekend I really wasn't feeling it, and I wasn't gonna force it. Like today, I wasn't really feeling it, but I forced it. It is what it is. Last weekend I was gonna go out, wasn't really feeling it, so I didn't force it. However, I did buy tickets to go to like I think it was like an R&B night, $11.12, bitch, and I didn't even get to go. I pre-ordered the fucking ticket, and I didn't even go. And I'm not gonna hold you. I thought about like emailing them because when I went on their website, they ain't have nothing about a refund policy. So I was gonna email them like, you trying to get my refund back? Obviously in a nice corporate way, because one thing about it, 10 things for sure, you think I got big words when I talk. I get active when it gets to typing. ChatGPT ain't got shit on me. For real. Fuck a ChatGPT. You know what I'm saying? I may need one thing about it in 10 things for sure, proofreading. But when it comes down to it, papers, letters, oh, I get active for real. You gonna think ChatGPT wrote it. For real. I wasn't gonna chase it. I was gonna chase after that because you like, oh, it's just $11, bitch, and it's my $11. I don't care. It could be 2 cents. I don't play about my money. What do I look like? But then I just let it go because I just didn't want to do all that hooping and hollering. I was just like, whatever. It is what it is. I wanted to tell y'all that I went to Applebee's. And when I had went to Applebee's, because remember I told y'all way back when, but not too far way back when, that I wanted to do like a whole like restaurant thing because I need like a guy best friend so we can go eat and do like fun stuff. I don't know if that makes me a little crazy. I don't think so. It's just like me saving recipes to cook later. I be collecting all them recipes like, damn, that look good. I'm gonna try making that. And I don't. I do sometimes though. I have a few times. I have. I really have. I'm not gonna hold you. I've tried a few of people's recipes before. I have. I personally, y'all will never see a recipe from me because I don't do recipes. I don't do the 1/4 and I season the taste. You ain't never gonna get a recipe from me because I actually gotta measure it. I'm not gonna sit here be measuring because I'm not gonna do that for y'all. I love y'all, but not that much. So yeah, for the most part, remember when I told you I wanted to go to Applebee's to try their little bucket? Y'all, that bucket's not as big as the picture. So boom, I saw the flyer and the flyer made the bucket look big. I got there, the bucket not as big as I thought it was. I don't know how big I thought the bucket was gonna be. I mean, to be honest, it's kind of big, but it's not like super big. I thought it was gonna be like dumb big, like fat, just like my ass big for real. And it was not. It was not. No. So that was I gotta complain about that too. Exactly. Speaking of making stuff, because I haven't been telling y'all, like I haven't been doing a lot of arts and crafts with y'all lately. Which is perfectly fine. Like Get Ready With Me, that's called I'm So Sweet. I made the shirt. For real, I made the shirt. For real. I got to arts and crafting. First I bleached the shirt, then I cut it. Yeah, I did that. I told TikTok, but I did not tell y'all. So boom, I know how to make brown sugar. They outfit's kind of cute. You think I could pull that off? I think I'd be sexy. Helen one of them little Amish outfits. They don't want me over there for real. I be making brown sugar. Yeah, I'm that bitch for real. I'm that bitch for real. Organic, which we make it straight from the source. No middleman. Why in the world? I know I'm all over the place. Don't look at me like that. So why in the world, y'all? So the bartender was like, "What you want to drink?" So I told him. I said, what I told him? I said, what I tell him? Give me a minute. I don't know why I'm blanking out. Like, girl, you just had to, girl, be for real, BFFR. So I told him. I said, I want to do say and Red Bull, right? And why in the world, y'all? He said blended. Yeah, dummy, complete dummy. I'm such a dummy because when he said, when he asked if I wanted him to mix it, I always tell them no. Remember, I always be telling them no because what? They don't give me the remainder. So boom, he puts it in the cup, mixes it, and then the remainder, where does it go? Abracadabra, he did a magic trick. I don't know where the hell he went. I ain't get that cup. I was, when he gave me, I was like, damn it. Very much tasted like crapple. And you like, what the fuck is crapple? Crown apple. That ain't Douce. That's crapple. Y'all think I slick over there? Maybe it was the concoction. I don't know. But it was definitely tasting like crapple. And I know what crown apple tastes like. That used to be my bitch for real. We used to be locked in. I was off about that Douce. I know Douce. And that wasn't tasting like Douce. This is the topic that I really wanted to touch on. Hold on, the battery's about to die. Well, it's not about to die. It is dying. Hold on. Let me change the battery and we go talk about it. How rude of the battery to interrupt me while I'm... Exactly. This the shit I be talking about. Life don't want me to be great today. I think it's because technically it's not even Friday the 13th no more. Bitch, it's the 14th. Get it together. I'll be back. What I heard, as y'all know, I keep my ears to the street. It's a lot of hell, so I gotta... You know what I'm saying? But I keep my ears to the streets. And the streets had told me that in the neck of the woods, in the nick of our woods, how that saying go? Y'all don't talk about they be like in the whatever over there. And Shakopee. If you don't know Minnesota like that, just know Shakopee Valley Fair. Minnesota's known for like Valley Fair and the Mall of America. Boom. So think of Valley Fair if you don't know Minnesota. Boom. Anyways, prior to getting into that, let me backtrack. Like I said, boom. So boom, I'm scrolling through the net. Okay. Prior to that, because I seen another article. Girl, don't look at me like that. I don't know where to start because it's a deep rabbit hole. This rabbit hole gets so deep. I don't know where to like really gauge to get this started. So boom, way back when. But not too far way back when. But I'm going to just summarize what they had said. Okay? Now, I need y'all to listen keenly because I hate when I say something and y'all don't listen. I hate when people just, they don't sit to comprehend the whole conversation. They just react out of emotions. I need you to hold off on your emotions just a tad bit and think logically. That's my problem with a lot of y'all. Y'all don't think logically. You always think emotionally. And I don't give a damn about your emotions. I don't give a damn about it because the facts are the facts. I be talking straight facts over here. You get what I'm saying? I put all emotions aside. So when I say what I say, shut the hell up and listen to only the facts. But it's not really facts because he said, she said, but it's not really he said, she said. Oh, we don't call him a pedo. I can say that. I think I can say pedo. Yeah. Pedo. Pedo. You can spell the rest. One thing about it, and 10 things for sure, y'all need to stop playing in people community because I'm not trying to be in y'all business or nothing. I'm getting sidetracked again. Listen, I'm not trying to be in y'all business or nothing. But why in the world? I don't think some of y'all really like bi or like, I think not bi. I don't think some of y'all really gay. I think some of y'all just curious. I think some of y'all just bi-curious. And then y'all be playing in these people community and then deciding when you want to hop in and hop out. This is not a game of hopscotch. Stop playing with them folks over there. Me, I give pretty girls compliments. You know what I'm saying? I give flowers what flowers is due, but I don't really like girls. I don't like girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't actually get married to a girl. No offense. No offense. You know what I'm saying? No offense to any of y'all. I'm strictly dickly. Boom. Way back when, but not too far way back when, there was a pedo who said that he needs to be a part of the LGBT plus community because he was making an argument. Remember, when it comes down to government, there's the legislature, there's the executive, and then there's the, I said legislature, executive, judicial, right? Right now we are discussing the judicial branch. We're not talking about the president, who's the executive. We're not talking about Congress, the House. We ain't talking about none of them. Who's legislative? Remember, people that make laws. The old people, Congress, the House, all them people, legislative. President, executive. How you gonna remember him? I don't know. Cause then the J is judicial. Judges, exactly. Process of elimination. Boom. So boom, right? So we talking about the judicial side. So we're not really getting too political. Okay? So don't side-eye me like we're not really talking about politics. But like I said, way back when, this man has said he's a part of the LGBT community because remember, it's plus now. And because so many people are getting added to the community, that's why he felt as if pedos were a part of the community because his argument was he was born that way. He was born liking kids. Like I said, I'm not trying to put words in his mouth. I'm just giving y'all cliff notes on what the hell this man was talking about. Cool. So boom, fast forward, modern day, because like, this was way back when. So boom. After that whole little shindig happened, so they just said, because I ain't trying to put words in nobody's mouth, but I'm just going to summarize it. I don't know what state. It was just mandatory castration. And if you don't understand what mandatory castration is, it's stopping someone from having kids. So for people who are incarcerated, they're going to have mandatory castration. And that's something they're working on. I don't know if they're working on it or some states already passed it. I think some girls over there in, I think one of them southern states, I don't remember who it was, because I'm not going to say nobody's name because I don't want to get to line or nothing. But one of them little southern states, they did get the ball rolling on that. You know, when they had got the ball rolling on that, I didn't want to speak too much on it because I was like, you know what? I expect nothing less from them people over there because they don't really have common sense. Common sense is not that common over there yonder. They don't really think too far. They're very narrow-minded. Not all of them, but a large majority of them are very narrow-minded. And the narrow-minded, it does a lot. When you narrow-minded, it causes a lot of problems. I said all that to say this. They talk about mandatory castration, and I was going to say to play devil's advocate, but there was this one girl who's like, if you're of Christ, why would you want to play devil's advocate? Why would you want to be on the team of the devil? And I just knew, I couldn't tell if she was trying to be funny or she was just slow. I don't really mean, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. So to play devil's advocate, and it's not really me playing devil's advocate because I'm stating facts, but the fact of the matter is when we are doing mandatory castration, And they're not saying if it's just to pedos, so that's the problem. But however, when it comes down to the judicial system is she's sloppy. She's a sloppy girl. If she was a girl, she would be very sloppy. This man she's very sloppy. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, you probably see her in public, you pay her no mind if she was a real person. She's just very sloppy. Okay? And I say sloppy in the sense where there's not really check and balances when it comes down over there. And I say what I say, how I say it, because if there were check and balances, people wouldn't be, so many people wouldn't be wrongly convicted. And that is not really my argument. I'm not arguing that y'all shouldn't do mandatory castration. I think, however, if we are going to castrate people, assuming that they're doing pedos, first off, let's backtrack. Let's not assume that they're talking about pedos. Let's assume that it's just mandatory castration on like actual offenses. Okay, cool, bet. One, if you can sit here, literally, I literally beg you to sit here and Google, just simply Google it. How many people are wrongly convicted a year? Like, there's organizations that gather together to help the innocent. There's so many organizations that gather together to help people who were wrongly convicted. And that's the problem when you do extreme things like that, because assuming that this person is mandatory, you know what I'm saying? Like, you castrate them. You stop them from producing, you know what I'm saying? Like, keeping their generation going. You prevent them from keeping their generation going in a way that's cool, because I see where we're going with this. I see the end goal. But however, when people are wrongly convicted, that's where it's just like, I don't think, and that's where I want to, that's just my big point. Because if people are wrongly convicted, like, yeah, y'all sit here like, yeah, people like who are wrongly convicted, they end up suing and they get money back, but no money equates to how much time you spent behind bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who have never been behind bars can't explain that. You can't go to somebody who's never been behind bars and ask them to explain how that experience is. They can't tell you. It's easy to say, yes, throw them behind bars. Like, it's easy to say, throw them behind bars. But I like to argue, put yourself in other people's shoes. You get what I'm saying? So my thing is, I think they need to do a deeper dive into like the castration. I think we just need to hold off on it and figure out the nooks and crannies. Look at the tiny details before passing something such as that, because you are literally stopping someone from creating a whole generation. You know what I'm saying? Well, but can you go back? I don't know, y'all, because I don't know. That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not really my expertise. I don't know if you can reverse the process. I'm not like, oh, don't protect kids. That's just never been me. However, for the people who fall in that gray area, like, someone got to add common sense and logic into this argument that we're having. I just think some things need to be tweaked. Because, however, when I was in high school, there was this boy. Now, mind you, high school is like what? We got, 13, I think it's middle school. I don't think they have middle school anymore. I think they cut out middle school. But I had middle school when I was growing up. I don't know if they still do middle school, if it's like elementary, high school. But when I grew up, it was elementary, middle school, high school. All in itself, when I was in high school, this boy had to be put on the ex-offenders list because he sent this girl nudes. So this girl sent him nudes. That's why I don't send nudes now. This girl, you gotta see this shit in person, bitch. So this girl sent nudes, right? And he sent the nudes to his friends, and his friends, it just became like a whole little, like, baby, it was spreading like wildfire. You know how wildfire, once it gets started, you know what I'm saying? Y'all seen some fires in California. You know how wildfires they can escalate quickly. So with all the sending of the pictures, somehow, some way it gets back to the girl. I wasn't really too much of friends with her, you know what I'm saying? She was my friend in passing. Like, hi, bye. Y'all know I'm a social butterfly. But in real life, like, back up off me. So, she was a friend with an N. Exactly. So she like lets me know. She didn't really like let me know. It was just more so like she was spilling her tea and I was listening. All in itself, right? All in itself, my friend with an N, because, you know what I'm saying, we didn't really have each other's number. We didn't kumbaya talk every day. We didn't do none of that. So friend with an N, and I can't call her sis because she ain't kin to me. She comes up, and when she finds out her picture is being sent around, she gets upset. She goes to tell her mammy. She's a Caucasian girl. You don't sit and play with Caucasian folks. Not to say you should sit and play with black folks either. All in itself, black folks are less likely to getting taken legal action. Not all of them now. Not all of them. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? I hit that reset button on your ass. Don't you know what I'm saying? So he over here setting this Caucasian girl, and I'm not saying like, oh, she Caucasian, like pajama wearing she's not pajama wearing Caucasian. If you get it, you get it. The ones who grow up end up getting the soccer mom haircut. You could tell she dated a black dude. That's exactly. She wasn't one of them Caucasian girls. She was not. Miss Ma'am was a purebred Caucasian girl. And this man decided to send a purebred Caucasian girl news all over. She told her mom got involved. Her mom called the cops. The cops, because they were underage, you know one thing about intending to don't get nothing started with the law if you don't want them to actually like pursue it. Because once that ball gets rolling, you can't really stop it. For real. And sometimes once the ball gets rolling, you can't backtrack because it's not about you no more. The case isn't your case. For real. The state take it on. Sometimes, some cases, the state will take it on and they like, we don't care what you think, what you want to backtrack on. We as the state took it on. So once the state takes on your case, that's a whole different ballgame. The system might be a little slow, not even a little. It's as slow as molasses. For real. The system is very slow. And it's slow because it's backed up with all the extra stuff. With all the hoopling and hollering. It might take a long time, but baby, they gonna get you. They gonna get you. And that's how they be getting a lot of people. You be like, damn, this person, they got all their money. All these rappers, they got all their money. And then now because charges were being pressed a while back, it just took a minute for all of that to catch up. Once the ball gets rolling, the ball is rolling. Ain't no backtracking. You get what I'm saying? Cool, bet. So, however, boom, state. I don't know if the state took on her case. What happened? All I know is this boy had to be on the ex-offenders list now because he sent inappropriate pictures of an underage. Exactly. And you like, but they was both, exactly, you both underage, but at the end of the day, it's considered pornography. Since she was underage, this is considered child pornography. That's why it's not cute to be sending people's news around. Y'all be thinking it's cute. It's not cute. Because one thing about intending, sure, if you don't know the law, it really, a lot of y'all don't be knowing the law to be acting like y'all want to be tough and criminals. I just need y'all to back up. Back up. There's too many people that want to prove that they hood. And I need y'all to stop it because you're playing with a slippery slope. Real shit. So boom, he ends up getting put on the ex-offenders list. I'm telling you, real shit. Because one thing about the law is like, it's vague. The law is very vague. They'll say something like, I can't even give you an example, but they make it so vague. Just look at the Constitution, period. When you read the Constitution, never are they specific, like I'm not going to say never, very rarely are they specific in details. Thou shalt not do this. They make it very vague. I told y'all, loopholes. There's always a loophole. And because it's very vague, that's why there are so many loopholes. It's not because Caucasians have, you know what I'm saying, they take advantage of the loopholes because they Caucasians. No, it's a simple fact. They can afford someone that knows the law. You get what I'm saying? That's why I get confused when some of y'all join like the life of the streets, because Why are you over here doing that? You make all this revenue and then nobody knows what happened to your revenue. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't even concoct this in a good way where it's going to benefit you at the end. They froze all your assets. Now you don't got nothing. You got to take a public defender. And it's not that the public defender is not amazing. They just overworked. So they don't have time to be in detail looking at your stuff. I'm not going to say all, but you know what I'm saying? Some of them can, some of them can't. It's the luxury of life. If you're going to do a life of crime, have some put aside. That's all I'm saying. I'm not teaching y'all how to get away with crimes. However, boom. So now, because he's on the ex-offenders list, like wherever he moves to, because I've actually had this happen to me, where somebody moved in the neighborhood. They moved in the neighborhood, and if you don't understand how the ex-offenders list works, once you're on the ex-offenders list, baby, you got to notify everybody in the area that you were ex-offender. Promise you can't make it up. It's a requirement. You have to notify. I think it's a radius. I think it's a certain amount of radius. You have to notify people like, hey, I'm on the ex-offender list. I moved in your neighborhood. It's mandatory. So now he got to walk around with that. Like, I don't know if I think he should have challenged it if you ask me. Maybe he had the money for it. He should have never sent that girl home for real. Yeah. But then again, he probably thought like his bro was going to keep it in the group chat. You can't trust people for real. Anyway, so boom, that goes back to the whole castration thing. Because imagine someone like him, right? Imagine someone like him who he has to identify ex-offender because he sent a girl's nudes. That wasn't his girlfriend, nothing. It was just a little fling. You know how I be in high school. You know how I be. Yeah. I don't know how I be because I ain't never played like that. Them kids was too passed around for me. Everybody dated everybody. I don't like that. Y'all passing saliva and I don't like that. I don't like that. I like mine a tad bit exclusive. I don't need too many people having you. That's disgusting. All in all, all in itself, for people like that, you know what I'm saying? Like those people like that are in the cracks. They have slid in the cracks of the judicial system. And there is no solution for them. I'm not telling y'all, oh, I'm sitting and I'm feeling bad. I'm not telling y'all I'm feeling bad. I'm just telling y'all facts. The facts of the matter is there are people who it really just be like dumb stuff. And I don't want to say it's dumb stuff because he should have known better, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to defend his action, but at the same time, like, he's not what you consider a severe ex-offender. You get what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure if he knew, like, oh, if I send these nudes, I would be considered an ex-offender, he wouldn't have sent the nudes to the group chat. But that's what it's like. Like, that's why I'm saying the judicial system is very sticky because a lot of the laws are old and they haven't updated to modern day society. And by the time it does get updated, because when it comes down to laws, it goes down to the House, Congress. We're going to say them folks over there. So with all that having to go through them and then the whole process, it takes a long time. So by the time it even becomes a law, it probably is outdated already. Exactly. They don't be moving quick enough over there. They don't. Why don't they be moving quick enough? Because they always arguing about something. You got a whole bunch of old people in the room. Some of them belong in nursing homes. And they just there. They just there. So now the judicial system just has to enforce whatever the legislative branch. You know what I'm saying? They just the enforcers. So that's what I'm saying. It just brings up the matter of like those people that have fallen in the cracks. How can you sit here like it, and that's what I feel like people don't understand. It's cool to be like lock criminals up until you are the one who gets accidentally accused of a crime that you never did. And now you fighting for your freedom. It's always innocent until proven guilty. But really, if you poor, you're guilty. I'm telling y'all the truth. I don't mean to laugh afterwards. Because the fact of the matter is taxpayer dollars are used to prosecute people, right? They're not going to spend too much money out of hoopling and hollering. They're not going to do all of that. If your public defender can't defend you it's just dues and they just don't know and some of them just don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they got over there. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I don't know how they got over there. However, some of them don't know what they're doing because sometimes I'll review cases and I'm like, why would you do that? That made no sense. Why would you know what I'm saying? I would never. That's not the route to go. But I'm not. Exactly. So the truth of the matter is, a lot of times when laws get passed, I feel as if, especially like big laws like that are what I consider slippery slopes, in the sense where sounds very innocent. It sounds pure. I see the significance of I see the overall game plan, but I think we need to go down and actually like get into the details. Stuff like that changes the trajectory of people's lives. For instance, when it comes down to the whole orphan babies, I don't really got a side to pick. I think, did I tell y'all that? I don't know if I told y'all that. My thing is like, what I just tell y'all already? I got too much shit in my life to worry about. You know what I'm saying? I like to mind my business. I think everybody else should mind their business too. I don't think when it comes down to it, people should dictate or make a lot of laws on how people should maneuver in life. Because at that point, when you do this, don't do this, don't do this, it takes away individuals' freedoms. And in the midst of it, I don't think people fully process, oh, my freedom is being taken away. For instance, the Fourth Amendment, if you don't know, is your right to privacy, right? Boom. Cliff noted. Cliff note. Okay. Cause I know I got some slow friends. Cliff note version, the Fourth Amendment, your right to privacy. So that's why when people argue about, oh, data breach, they're not just arguing about it because just for shits and giggles, they want to waste money. They argue about it because the simple fact is, if you're sitting here as an organization, who we going to use as an example? Who I want to pull down this rabbit hole with me? Just kidding. For instance, we'll use Walmart. Walmart, don't take it personal, girl. Whatever. Anywho, so boom, Walmart as an example, right? Walmart, I don't think people read terms and conditions. Me? Bitch. Oh, okay. Act like I went to school. So, when it comes down to it, right? A lot of times they have the terms and conditions where they tell you, like, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're not going to do. Blase, blase, blase. So you have an understanding of what's going to happen. So they tell you, oh, privacy, we won't share your information with people, this, that, and the other. But when some businesses get to being greedy and push comes to shove, they sell your information to other people. That's why everybody's information is on the dark web, because there's so many greedy people in corporate. Think of corporate as like the big girls. You know what I'm saying? The big dogs. Now, I don't want to say big girls because I'm not talking about like big girls. I'm talking about like big dogs, like the heavy hitters. Think of corporate as like the heavy hitters. There's too many greedy people. And a lot of the time, a lot of those people in corporate, a lot of them, and that's why I tell people, like, be the person that you wanted when you grow up, when you were growing up. Be that person. Get yourself into those rooms and push yourself to reach goals so you can be the change. I don't like when y'all sit here and complain about all the hoopla. Shut the hell up. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? That is my thing. I don't want to hear about the complaining. If you're not willing to make any changes about it, y'all don't vote. I'm not forcing y'all to vote. I'm not saying you have to vote, but at the end of the time, you can't be upset when you got a whole bunch of old people. Because when you check it ain't nothing. A lot of the stuff is free. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why too many people are not fast enough. Because a lot of the stuff is free. But then again, with this day and age, they got false information out there too. Anyways, boom. Back to what I was saying. This day and age, you can see who showed up to vote. Like, they'll give you a little nice pie chart. Sometimes it's graphs. Nonetheless, it shows you who comes out to vote most likely. You can check it out for each election time. Who were the people that came out to vote? Midterms, and you know what I'm saying? Boom, all that stuff. So when it comes down to it, you can't sit here and get upset when stuff is being passed and you're not okay with it if you never advocated for the change. That's why I said on a TikTok a while back, like a lot of y'all sit in the comfort of y'all homes and then complain when the deed is done. The deed is done. What you complaining about? Literally, I kid y'all not. Every county, every state, well, I'm going to say county. Every county has a city hall, right? Who shows up to the city hall meetings? A lot of people don't. However, I be seeing videos with some of y'all that pop up to the city hall meetings and I'll be playing on people's face. I'm not gonna lie, I be laughing because at this point, they need to loosen up. Girl, loosen up. Because anybody could, that's the problem. Anybody could show up to the meeting. So it's like, girl. So it's all key sometimes to me. But for the most part, like a lot of people don't show up to the meeting. And it's just like, I'm not going to say if you show up, it's going to be a one and done ordeal. But at the same time, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't not show up and then get mad when something is passed and it affects you. I think I told y'all, I don't even do the random rants no more because to be honest, like it is what it is. I gave y'all a heads up. Then to top it off, when I was in that hotel in New York, I told you, I said, don't be a pawn thinking you were players. Too many of y'all were pawns thinking y'all were players. And that's the problem. And like, that's why I be telling y'all, like, when you don't think logically and you build up hatred towards just a certain group of people or a certain experience because of another bad experience, not understanding this group in the whole, like group in a whole, I'm stuttering. Not understanding like this demographic as a whole didn't really do anything to you. It was just that one individual. But because you failed to heal and get over the situation, I'm not going to force anybody to get over that situation. You know what I'm saying? People get over situations at their own rate. However, if you let that shit linger and you refuse to acknowledge why you feel that way towards a certain group of people, it's never going to turn out right for you. The same thing I told y'all I think was my last random rant. I said the compassion that you want people to give you is the same amount of compassion you have to be willing to give out. And a lot of y'all don't be willing to give compassion out. And it's a cause and effect thing. It really just a cause and effect, and it is what it is. Like, that's all you can really say. The only thing that really saves people, I would say, is the 14th Amendment. Allows states to have their own sovereignty. And then there's the federal government who has, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the state and the federal government. So because states are able to create their own, you know what I'm saying? That's what's really saving a lot of y'all. But if it was, technically it is what the government says go, but then it's like, there's levels to it. There's levels to it. There's levels to it. I'm trying to keep, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep this very light and soft. I'm not trying to deep dive into it because deep diving into it, I might just lose you. I don't want to lose you. I just understand that that's why in states like Minnesota, right? In states like Minnesota, and I'm going to tie this back beautifully because remember I told y'all Shakopee. What's happening in the Shakopee? We talked about the trans. I'm going to get back to it. Big circle, judicial system, all going to link together. So what you lost me now? I lost myself trying to keep y'all in the loop with me. And yes, that's what I was saying, states. That's why states, I think it's Georgia. Is it Georgia? I ain't trying to talk about y'all peaches or nothing. However, which one of them states got that girl alive and kicking, but she's not really alive? All because of the stupid, I'm going to say it anyways. Me and YouTube don't have to beef about it. The abortion laws, you know, they passed it with the whole, because obviously that was the whole thing when it was election time. They was talk about it. How do you feel about pro-life? You know what I'm saying? Blase. I love a good presidential debate. I promise you I do. It's a key every time. Vice president, it's a key every time. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all be too uptight. You got a political party. I don't got a political party. I don't. It's whatever makes sense. Who's making sense? Politicians be lying out their ass anyways. I don't trust them. They just girl. So, it's their own agenda. For real. A lot of them it's power. It's power. A lot of them, and that's the problem. Too many people that were bullied, and that's the problem. A lot of people who were bullied in school have the passion and the desire to get far because they have something to prove. I'm sobering up, for real. They have something to prove to their bullies. So now they're striving for power. Some of y'all are so articulate, smart, and you should be in the position that those people are in. But because you don't have the same level of drive, and a lot of times, I'm not going to say a lot of people don't have the level of drive. It's really like a who you know type ordeal. Because who you know plays a big part in the positions that you're able to get. And it's hard to fight against a system that's already corrupt in itself. I understand all that. But all in all, all in itself, I think we're going to say Georgia. We're going to throw Georgia under the bridge. Girl, you're going to be just fine. You always got some hoopla over there. You in Florida. But Florida just be having their people. Every single time, like, you want to hear the wildest, like, stories when it comes down to the law, you go over there to Florida. I've never, like, Florida, I don't know what they got going on. It's different. They real different over there. That's the word we're going to use. We just going to say different. They real different. All right. So, boom. I go to Florida when I want to get a good key because, bitch, what the fuck y'all doing over there? So, boom. That goes back to what I was saying. So, boom, like I told y'all, Minnesota pro, whatever you want to do. That states making their own, you know what I'm saying? They got their own laws. Then there's the federal law. That's why Mary Jane is legalized in some states, but when you think about it federally, it's not legalized. And because it's not legalized federally, is it legalized federally now? Last I checked, it was not. If it is, scratch what I said. But because it's not legalized federally, that's why a lot of the times, if like, I think that it was the insurance companies that did that. The insurance companies, they had said, y'all, they had said basically, because, you know, obviously, like it's smart that when you get a business, you insure your business. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. Obviously, when you online business, you don't really need too much insurance. But if you have a physical business, you need insurance just in case something breaks, burn, you know what I'm saying? Something, you know what I'm saying? Unless you got it like that and you cover it, you know what I'm saying? You got it. But for the most part, insurance. And insurance is a whole hoopla in itself because, like, they not really scamming you. I know people be like, it's a scam. In a way, it's a scam. Just think of insurance as like a greedy. I don't want to say greedy. They're just stingy. That's the word I'm looking for. Insurance is very stingy. Insurance companies are very, very stingy. It's not that they don't have the money to give you. It's, are you willing to fight for this money? Y'all don't be willing to fight. Me, if I need to make time, I'll make time, bitch. I said you owe me. You know what I'm saying? I got time. I'll make time. Because I know you got the money. I'll cough it up because you owe me. Exactly. However, coming back to what I was saying, insurance, they're like, I don't know if they fully got a grasp of it, but I know the whole like shindig of them not covering dispensaries was there. So however, if someone was to steal from a dispensary, they're not going to cover that loss or damages that happen due to the fact that federally, that's what I'm saying. If it is legalized federally, scratch what I'm saying. But their argument basically was because it's not legalized federally, it ain't our business. Can they do that, girl? I don't know. I don't know. Do I look like I'm in insurance law to you? Do I look like I'm reading the terms and conditions over there? I don't have a dispensary, so I don't need to read the terms and conditions and the paperwork and the requirements. I read what I have to read. I don't read just for fun. No, actually, sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. But for the most part, I don't just be reading just for fun. Okay? All in all, all in itself, like I said, Minnesota lets you do what you want, pro-life, off your kid, girl, whatever. I think it's Georgia. I think it's Georgia where that lady is cooped up somewhere. She is brain dead. She's not living. They got her on is it a ventilator system, babe? I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. Don't get to, no, it's a girl. I don't know the different words. That's why I ain't become a doctor. The words, they be having too much, Cause you be like the common code and they got a whole 15 letter long name. I don't, what? No, who's gonna say all of that? You have a bitch. No. I have what? You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do that. They got that girl. I'm gonna stop saying it's Georgia now, because if it's not Georgia, I feel bad. I'm dragging Georgia through, but however, they got that girl alive all because she's carrying a child. And because they are pro-life, whatever state it is, because the state is pro-life and they passed their bill, because like going back to the Mary Jane, some states pro-Mary Jane, some states are not. That's how they're able to do that. Some states pro-law, some states are not. However, when it comes down to it, if you want to take anything to the Supreme Court, there's levels to it. That's why I'm saying the judicial system is very messy, because you can't just jump straight to the Supreme Court. And then with the Supreme Court, they got to choose you. Okay? And they choose a lot of controversial cases that make or break the Constitution. Okay? But that's the thing, like a lot of times the judicial system, cases cause other cases to be overturned. And you want to get to the Supreme Court, it is hard, because the Supreme Court's like the NFL. 1%. Only 1%. You know what I'm saying? It's like the rich. 1%. Top 1%. You don't get to pick. They pick. And then even when they pick, you got to argue not you, your lawyers got to, you know what I'm saying? Make an argument on why this case is important for us to even review type stuff. It's a lot. That's what I'm saying. That's not really the process, but that is the process. Don't get lost in the sauce. It's a lot. It gets kind of confusing. But all in all, for you to even touch the Supreme Court's door, you start at your state level and they either tell you no, you know what I'm saying? And then you challenge it. You basically just keep challenging them you know what I'm saying? You keep challenging each. Think of it as like stairs. You walking up to the Supreme Court. Each time, you know what I'm saying? You challenge, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, cool. Exactly. So you're basically just challenging what they're saying. Boom, cool, whatever. But for the most part, yeah. So how are they going to get them to agree to bring abortion, you know what I'm saying? Make abortion okay again federally? A case has to be presented to the Supreme Court. I think there is one being presented right now. However, I don't know. I didn't really, like I told you, a lot of stuff going on up here. Anywho, so for the most part, that circles back to what's going on in Minnesota. And I'm pretty sure it's not just in Minnesota, but however, going back to the LGBT thing, right? So, perfect circle. Because I think at this point I made enough connections for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I hope I didn't lose you in the whole loop. Okay, cool. So, boom. All in all, all in itself, back to Shakopee, Minnesota. Shakopee, Minnesota currently, they are merging trans women with regular women. So they're not putting trans women in the male. Okay. Because obviously some states, they don't care if you're trans or not. It's whatever biologically was on your birth certificate. However, I don't take my word for it. That's what they had said. They had said, this other lady she was incarcerated. She said that that's what's going on in the prison system. I haven't heard anything about it. I'm just telling y'all what this lady came out and said. She said that the trans women are being put in women's facilities. Some of them are borderline. You get what I'm saying? And it's not to force nobody on, like, pick a side. It's not to force anybody. Some people don't go through the whole, like, spiel to become a full woman. Some people go through the whole spiel. All in itself, the problem is the lady was saying because trans women are now in the facilities with the regular women, they're selling their children. Do you get what I'm putting down? They didn't get their Peter Piper chopped off, and they're selling their seed. Well, not seed, because technically it's not really seed. It's liquid gold. And I'm not talking about breast milk liquid gold. They selling you know what I'm saying? They're baby makers to the women. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the article on that one. I'm just telling y'all what a former inmate said was going down in the facilities. That's what she has said. She could be a liar too. I don't know. Cause some of them actually, some people, they got mental problems. So you can't trust you can't trust everybody. But for the most part, assuming that she is staying in the head, she's stating that's what's been going on. That goes back to the whole concept of a slippery slope, because the whole thing is like, yes, they identify as women, but now they selling they children. We don't say children, because technically it is children, because that has to mix in with the egg in order to make a kid. So they're selling their children to other women, and it's just like, are you fully like, are you, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, and that's why I'm saying people be playing in these people community, because one second you want to be fully trans, you want to, you know what I'm saying? And then the next second you backtracking. I'm not saying you can't backtrack, but I think if some people are just having identity crisis, and that in a way defeats the purpose of the LGBT community. I understand that these people have fought for their rights, but with people playing in the community like that, and I think the community actually needs to sit down and have a group. A lot of communities need to sit down and have a session so they all on the same page. It's not just the LGBT community. It's not. It's really not. A lot of the communities need to sit down and have a full-on agreement, because really everybody playing in everybody community. And at this point, who's really leading this? It's a whole bunch. That's what I'm saying. Like, all of this gets so messy. I don't know if it was jail or prison. And if you don't know, they're different. Jail and prison, two different things. Okay. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure she was talking about prison though. I don't think she was talking about jail. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what she was really talking about. She ain't really getting into too much details. She was doing what I be doing. Girl, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can talk in riddles. You can't talk in riddles. Not with a topic like that. I need you to get into details. I be talking in riddles when I'm doing these little get ready with me's, because I can talk in riddles. You know what I'm saying? Because I be trying to put y'all in my business, but I don't want to put other people's business out there because they ain't do nothing to me. Exactly. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. It just really be all over the place. I think when we make decisions, I think we actually need to sit back and fully think about it. And sometimes you need other people to look in. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, I think sometimes we need outside perspectives. Because when you're invested into something, you don't really see the problems. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a business. When you have a business, you're not really seeing the problems of your business, because to you, it's perfect. But someone who doesn't really fully have that, like, attachment to your business is able to see the issues of your business. And if you listen to the proper criticism, assuming that the criticism is positive criticism to, you know what I'm saying, help your growth, and not to just be criticizing, it helps you grow. And speaking of wrongly convicted, like, there was this guy, he was awarded $2.1 million, I think they said it was. I didn't fully read the article either. I just looked at the headlines. Don't look at me like that. But he was wrongly convicted. But his issue wasn't because he didn't commit the crime. Some people, it's because, like, oh, I didn't commit the crime at all. I wasn't a part of it. You know what I'm saying? They lie. Remember the, what is it? It's like something park. Them kids in New York Park. I forgot the name of it. Oh my gosh. All them boys who was accused of rape. Come to find out they didn't really grape that lady. And then yes. I remember watching the documentary and reading about it. I read so many articles about it, and I don't remember why I can't think of it. It's like the something park. It's like this, I can't think of, oh my gosh, and it's pissing me off. Okay, cool, whatever. Anyway, so boom, it's not whatever, cause, like, you know what I'm saying? Those people was locked up for a long time. But anyway, so boom, this man, he gets awarded $2.something million. Mind you, I think he was locked up. I'm not gonna put the number of years he was locked up, because I ain't gonna lie like that. But he was locked up for a long time. And it's not because he didn't commit the crime, but he was locked up, right? And it's not that he didn't do it. He didn't do it, but he did do it. Because the person who did do it looked exactly like him. Promise you, they not even twins. Can't make this up. I saw the picture. all in itself, this man's life was stopped and put on hold for a crime he didn't commit. And the person who did commit it was living a best life. Buddy and him had the same face. You know how some celebrities have like doppelgangers where it's like, oh, this person looks exactly like this person. It was one of those situations. And that's where I'm saying, like, you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying don't punish people for committing crimes. I'm not. But I'm just saying the system is broken. And because the system is broken, and with the knowledge that the system is broken, we have to take a lot of things into consideration when things are being passed, because this affects people's lives. Y'all still got this lady up and kicking, and she's not even kicking. This lady should have been gone. All because y'all against abortion. Y'all got her over there laying on this bed. Do you think that's ethical? You think that's humane? You what? And the thing is, you don't even know if the fetus is fully. Some people are saying the fetus is going to be okay. Some people, oh, it's not. I'm not a doctor to know. But nonetheless, you have this lady's baby there in her. And then obviously she can't push because she's already gone. So now what you going to do? When it's time to give birth, you're going to have to do a C-section. All because of what? And then who's supposed to take care of the child? That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things. It's always, this is why, this is what it goes back to. Everybody wants to be in charge of how other people make their life decisions, but there's too much gray area. Life is filled with curveballs. You can't expect the unexpected. So because the unexpected happens, you have to account for that and take that into consideration kind of sorta when creating laws. I don't care how absurd some of the situations can be. How about, you know what I'm saying? You need to make hypothetical situations. Hypothetically, if this was, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the problem. People aren't making hypothetical situations because hypothetically, you know what I'm saying? Yes, it might sound crazy. Boom. For instance, if somebody's like, hypothetically, what if this person has a twin brother and the twin brother committed a crime? Should we really pass this law? You know what I'm saying? The hypothetical sounds crazy, but all in itself, it's possible. It's very much plausible. There might be a 1% chance, but nonetheless, there's that percent chance. And it's just like, I believe that's why loopholes are there for people to take advantage of that, but people don't fully understand loopholes. People don't even understand the 3 branches of government. You know what I'm saying? Average citizens don't even understand their own constitution. And you expect them, y'all, throw it away. I'm ready to go to bed. Conversation's over, wrap it up. And baby, we're going to take it one day at a time over here, because I don't know what y'all really be doing. It's not that the fact that a lot of those people that are making the laws are old. It's the fact that they fixed in their ways and they don't. Do y'all consult other people when y'all take things into consideration? I feel like you need to consult people. When y'all creating laws, do you bring professionals in to give you their expertise on the topic, or do y'all just make laws? Because you expect me to believe. First off, I understand the requirements to get into Congress. The requirements in the pit of hell, bare minimum. The bare minimum. I'm telling y'all right now. The requirements are so un poquito. You'd be surprised. For a job that's that serious, the requirements not even serious. So boom, you got these people in there. Age don't come with wisdom. It doesn't. So you got these people in there. Some of them are extremists. Some of them are fairly neutral. A lot of them, because you're not even required to have a bachelor's. You're not required to have a bachelor's to be there. That's the funny part. You're not required to have a bachelor's degree. Not saying a lot of them don't have bachelor's degrees. I'm saying because you can't trust every expertise witness. Take what happened to Kim Kardashian's hair, for instance. I don't know who the hell her stylist was. How the hell? Maybe it wasn't that person that did it. Maybe it was somebody else that did it. But somehow, some way, this girl has so much damage to her hair. How are you a hairstylist and I'm assuming you have your credentials. How do you have your credentials and you still don't know what you're doing? I'm confused. How did you, as a hairstylist, you know what I'm saying? You damaged her hair. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it was one person or she did one of those, like, I went to multiple hairstylists. All in all, all in itself, one of them idiots damaged her hair. So you can't trust everybody with a degree. You can't. For real. You can't. Because some people just paid their way through college. I'll pay you to do my homework. Just turn it in for me. That's what I'm saying. The system is rigged. It is what it is. There's a lot going on. Corruption all over. All over. All over. So the whole time they bring these, assuming that they bring in professionals to, you know what I'm saying? Expertise witness to analyze the findings and what they are going to pass as a law. You know what I'm saying? To justify their conclusions or hypothesis that they made. Assuming if they do that, how sure am I that this person is even qualified to know what y'all talking about? Huh? And then y'all sit here and want to play damage control after the damage has been created. And then you want to have congressional hearings? Wrap it up. Wrap it up now. I like when they get like, because they can't get like overly aggressive. I like when they get like slightly aggressive. And be like, so you're telling me, but then they voice be calm. I'm like, yeah, I could tell you just be fuck off. What happened was there was a congressional hearing. One of the senators was questioning the guy who was on the stand. I don't know who the guy was and what corporation he worked with, but they was talking about data breach. And if you don't understand your data is important, your Fourth Amendment, I feel like people don't take it serious, but you need to take it serious. You need to take it serious because the day you don't take it serious is the day they will play in all of y'all faces. I promise you. The day you let the Fourth Amendment slip and slide like a water park is the day all of y'all gonna perish, literally. When it comes down to your data, take it serious. I mean, your information's already out there, but take it serious because now, because you know, before they had traffic cameras, they argued about that because it's like, that's technically a violation of your Fourth Amendment, right? That's what they tried to argue, that, what's it called? Traffic cameras is a violation of the Fourth Amendment, right? Did that pass? No, there's traffic cameras everywhere. Now they want to do face recognition. And that's the argument. It's going to help us solve criminals. It's going to help us solve criminals. That's what they did to y'all when they was doing the bombing. You gotta be scared of the Asians. Be scared of the Asians. They had y'all in fear. Well, technically there was a bombing. All in all, the Cold War, I'm talking about the Cold War. Don't get confused with me. The Cold War wasn't really, that's why it's called the Cold War. Because it was just back and forth threats. But they had y'all scared that whole time. Cold War, they had y'all scared in fear. You were living in fear. And that's what it is. They love telling you, we're going to catch criminals. We're going to catch criminals. But at what point are they jeopardizing your freedom to catch such criminals? You have to understand sometimes when people don't want to do their job, they take shortcuts. And they don't mind throwing you under the bus. Right now, you're like, I'll never get caught. That's what the innocent people who are locked up said. I'll never get caught. Because you're not thinking, it could be me. Nobody ever thinks it could be me. It's always, that could never be me. And that's your problem now. Going back to compassion, consideration, y'all don't care about other people. Y'all all have, not all, I'm not going to say all, majority of y'all have individualistic mindsets. It's me or nobody. And because of that, that's what creates confusion, because it's like some people, especially them girls who be like, take away capitalism. You want to help everybody, but you have to understand not everybody wants to help everybody. Okay? And it's hard to create a system that's going to help everybody because regardless, free riders, you always gonna have free riders. And if you don't understand what free riders is, it's people that take advantage of the system. That's why I told y'all during the random rants, I said there's a lot of programs out there that a lot of you don't hear about, and it's beneficial to you, but you never hear about it because people take advantage of it. They take advantage of it sometimes so much to the point where they have to shut down because people abuse the system. Real stuff. Y'all, I'm done spilling. It wasn't no gossip. It was knowledge today. Bye.